Good morning. Okay, expectations for hybrid week. I'm excited to actually get to see you guys in real person, most of you. I don't know if you are, but I am. So, there are some changes to the Canvas what are these called? Modules. All right? Some of you probably already noticed it. Some of you are like, "I don't know, I've never looked at this." Okay, listen. The biggest thing. This is the end of the 6 weeks. You're like, no, miss, the calendar says the 25th. This is the 15th. This is the last week of grades for the 6 weeks. See, the actual last week of the 6 weeks, those grades go on next 6 weeks. So, those of you who I've been sending emails to, there's only two. I had to think. There's only two of you who aren't 100% caught up, which is awesome. Wait, that is a lie. That's a lie. Because I don't know yet who all's caught up from last week. So that's a lie right now. Well, whatever. Okay, for the most part, y'all are staying on track pretty well. That being said, this week right here that you're looking at, September 15th, this ends the 6 weeks. Which means if you haven't turned in past stuff, which means if I've been sending you emails saying you're missing blah, 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 you have got to get it taken care of soon. Some of you sweet little angels are going to end up failing the 6 weeks. And you're going to be like, but I've always passed. Not now. So you guys got to, you got to get on this. Okay. If you're like, I don't know if I've turned everything in. On the left side over here, click grades. Okay, I was like, I promise. I clicked it. I'm looking at the grades for my test student. Okay, so whenever I'm in student view, this is my test student. So this is nobody's actual grades. Okay, this is like me pretending like I'm a student. Okay, so you can look at your grades from the very beginning and see what has been turned in and what hasn't. If you look here and you're like, awesome, done, awesome, done, done. Yeah? Uh-oh, I didn't do this. You better do it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. If it says missing, you got a problem. Again, some of you are still like, I don't know why I'm what is it called? Submitting assignments, but it's not getting to you. If you don't see confetti when you submit an assignment, you didn't submit it. For example, let me show you. I'm just gonna pretend and submit this real fast so that you can see. Text entry, blah, 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 blah. Those are the answers to my questions. I'm going to hit submit. Okay, watch. Are you ready? Are you watching? Confetti. Woo! If you don't see that confetti, you have not submitted to me. I have some of y'all that keep going, I did it. Okay, but I can't grade what I can't see. If you don't see the confetti, and what's crazy is when I've shown some kids this in tutorials, they're like, "Well, I've never seen that." Well, then you didn't submit it. I don't know what you're doing, but you didn't submit it. Okay? So when you submit an assignment, you click here, hit submit, and then you either do a file upload or you do a text entry. Guys, listen. Some of y'all, especially if you're in Google Docs, I can't open your documents because you haven't shared your Google documents with me. You have to share it in the settings somewhere. Text entry. You can write directly in here, or you can copy and paste directly in here. Then be sure you come down here and hit submit, Because I think what some of y'all are doing is you're hitting the submit button at the top, and then you're doing upload or you're and then you're like, okay, I'm done, and you're leaving. You have to hit submit at the bottom as well. And that may be what is happening with some of y'all when you're like, I guess I'll do it again. I think that's the step that you're missing, is you're not hitting submit at the bottom. Okay. So that being said, check your grades, because this is the end of the 6 weeks. Okay, look. There we go. Okay, so expectations for this week, September 15th. You look at this module probably and you're like, okay, there are some serious differences. First of all, it's very little. Second of all, where did Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, where did those go? And third, what is this? I'm glad you asked. Okay, first of all, the module is smaller because for most of you, it's not going to stay small like this. Okay, they're going to get bigger, but I'll explain why in a minute. For most of you, you're a hybrid kid. You're an AB kid. Okay, some people are calling it purple gold, AB, I don't care, whatever. Some of you are coming Mondays and Wednesdays here to me in school. Some of you are coming Tuesdays and Thursdays. You are all virtual on Fridays. Do you have to check in on Fridays? Yes, attendance. Some of y'all already have 3 absences. You're only allowed 9 for the semester. Yes, you have to check in on Fridays too. Okay. That being said, the modules are shorter because you're only doing 3 days worth of online virtual work now instead of 5. Okay. 2 of those days I'm with you in class. Okie dokie. That's why it's shorter for now. The second thing that you probably noticed, where did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday go? Well, they're replaced. It doesn't make sense to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday when some of you are Monday, some of you are Tuesday, some of you, that's confusing. It's easier to just do, here's what I want you to do first, and here's what I want you to do next. Where's number 1? It's this video. Okay, so when you are actually looking at this, number 1's up here, and it's this video. Okay. They're going to be numbered so that you can see the order. Guys, history is a story. You need to go in order. If you learn about Persia before you learn about Phoenicia and the Hebrews, well, Persia takes over. Persia frees the Hebrews from Babylon. If you learn about Persia first, you're like, wait, the Hebrews are taken over by Babylon? What? Why are they in, what's the, what? Things are in order in history because history is a story. It's a narrative. Okay. So this week you have this video, and then you have Phoenicia and the Hebrews. When I originally made this video, okay, it's a little bit of a longer video because I wasn't thinking. Like, I remember making this video and go, oh, that's not how I would teach this. I really would not teach Phoenicia and the Hebrews in one day in class. But I didn't want to redo the whole video. That's why there's only 2 things for you to do this week. If I were you, I would do Phoenicia, and then on the next day, the Hebrews. In the middle of this video somewhere, it'll switch over. This is still Phoenicia. This is the Hebrews. Yeah, this right here is the Hebrews. So about 31. Somewhere around there, we're going to switch to the Hebrews. If I were you, I would do it in 2 different days. Do you have to? No, if you want to do it all in one day, cool. Because then you'll make the connection of the Phoenicians and the Hebrews together because they're right next to each other. They trade, okay? So that's fine. But that's why I only put 2 assignments in here. Okay, that's why I only put 2 assignments in here for this week. because if I were you, I'd actually separate it between all three. You don't have to, just saying. So anyway, you have Phoenicia and the Hebrews, and then you have your questions, your essential questions. These are questions that I would ask you in class and that we would discuss in class. Well, we can't discuss in class if you're online, so this is how I know if you've actually done it. Okay, listen. Unfortunately for you, or fortunately, I guess it depends on how you look at it, I'm not the kind of teacher who looks at your work and goes, check, 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 check. I actually read what you've written. So there is someone who has literally turned in this to me. Are you ready? Oops. Number one. Number two. That's a big fat zero. Guys, I actually read what you're putting. I need to make sure that you're getting it. Okie dokie. So hopefully I don't need to say anything else about that and you'll fix that because I'm actually reading it. Okay. So anyway, do your Phoenicia and Hebrews video and questions. If you want to separate it into, oh, you can't separate it into two different things because I created one assignment. Sorry. And then do Persia. Persia. Here we go.
Hello.
All right.
Persia's
Persia's only 23 minutes long. Shouldn't be a big deal. You answer your Persia questions. Okay. And then just like before, you submit it. Submit. Either do a file or a text entry. And again, those of you whose stuff keeps getting blank for you, I would just start doing text entries where you type directly in. Okay. And then be sure that you hit submit at the bottom. You're waiting to see confetti. Yippee! Okay. Again, if you don't hit submit at the bottom, you haven't actually submitted it. And if you haven't seen that confetti, I don't have it. Okay. Once you're done with that, that's it for this week. You're like, seriously? Yeah, because 2 days I'm taking care of. Now, normally you'll actually have 3 days. Okay. But again, because Phoenicia and the Hebrews are actually 2 days in class, that's why. Okay. If you are a hybrid kid, an AB kid, and I'm going to actually see you in class, you can turn this video off and be done with it. If you are not a hybrid kid and you're part of the virtual online academy, I need to talk to you. Stay on. Or if you just want to stay on just to see what's going on, cool. Okay, virtual only kids. In this class, there's only a few of y'all. Y'all are my baby class. You're my tiny little bitty class. There's only 2 of you. Okay, so listen. Right now, you do this also. Okay? But starting next week, not this week, not the 15th, next week, the 21st. Do you see this header right here? You're not going to follow this starting next week. Starting next week, you're going to see stuff down here. And it's going to be numbered all over again. It'll say 1, 2, 3, 4 down here. Okay? The problem with history being a story is that it doesn't make sense for you who is home all 5 days to follow the exact same order as kids who are in class and at home. You're still learning the same thing, okay? You're still going to have the exact same tests as the in-class kids. You're going to have the exact same writing assignments as the in-class kids. However, the order of things has to change a little bit. One of the reasons for that is because when I actually teach, I don't teach lecture style like you're seeing in the videos where I'm just talking. I teach discussion. I teach role play. That's how I teach. We role play, not actually, like the kids don't get up and role play unless they want to, but I act everything out, is what I do. So because we discuss in class, there's almost always times when I'm sorry, I'm pointing at the desks right here. I know you don't know what I'm pointing at. Those are desks. But there's always times when somebody will ask a question and it causes a discussion to happen that will cause us to go, maybe we're talking about Persia that day, but kids ask a question and I'm like, oh, we need to talk about Babylon for a second. You need that information too. So what I'll do is as soon as like that class is over, I'm going to write down, okay, we discussed the Babylonian captivity so that I can go in and make a video that really does reflect what we discussed in class. So because of that, your narrative, your story might be a little bit different than their story. That's not really true. The story isn't different. The order of the story is different. Okay. So if you see, let me think. I'm trying to think. If you see next week, you're going to see you have your Mesopotamia test, right? Yeah. No. I don't know. Who cares? Who cares what week it is? When we get to the Far East, okay, which is our next unit, what you're going to see up here is people in class are doing China. We're going to be talking about China in class. I'm going to have you probably start here with India. You'll do China the next week. And then we'll flip-flop so that I can make sure that whatever we're discussing in class, you're also getting. Okie dokie? I can add things to those videos. I can whatever. All right. So you're still learning the same thing, but for you guys to make sure that you're actually learning the same thing, your order has to be a little bit different. So this week, you do this. Starting next week, you're probably going to have a different narrative down here. If it says underneath online students only, that's for you. I might actually change this up here and put, this may not be lessons and assignments anymore. This might be hybrid AB students. I might change this heading to make it a little bit more, I don't know, easy, understandable maybe. But this week, yes, you do it. This, starting in a couple weeks or whatever, will be all you. Okie dokie. And again, it's still going to be the same information, so don't worry about that. You're not getting slighted. You're not getting less. Unless you feel like you are because we're not acting stuff out. I can't help it. But you're still getting the same information. Okie dokie. It'll just be in a different order. So don't freak out when you see that. Probably starting next week. If not next week, for sure with the next unit, which is the Far East. That's India, China, Mongolia, and Japan. Okie dokie. So I think that's it. That's it. All right. Bye.